Hello, everyone. How are you all doing?
Good.
Awesome. Anything new you want to share? Anyone want to share something you did for the week? Nobody? Mhm. How many of you had a chance to grab your dictionary? Mhm.
I believe they were out of town all week. I ordered it right away, but they
Oh,
sent
okay.
me an email tonight saying that they would send it out. So I'm out of state, so I'm guessing I won't get the dictionary for another couple days.
Okay. That's all right. We're not in a rush yet, but it's good to have it handy so that when I do start issuing assignment, it'll become easier. Cool. You're here tonight, right?
I am, yes.
Yes, I just sent an email to both of your contacts, so hopefully they are able to make it to tonight class. You can reach
They are,
out to
yeah.
them
They're
too.
yeah. I'm like texting them right now. They're like getting all their stuff
Okay.
ready, so they should be jumping in pretty soon.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you for doing that.
So Shining Star, you got yours yesterday. Awesome. Which one did you get? The blue cover or the red cover? Okay. Awesome.
Hi, I missed class last week and you were talking about the dictionary. It was due to family emergency, so I couldn't make it last week. Can you tell me more about the dictionary?
Oh yes, the dictionary is a Hmong dictionary. It's a very thick book. The front half of the book is from English words into Hmong definitions, and the second half of the book is Hmong word to English definition. There's both white and green dialects in that same dictionary, so you don't have to uh like get separate books or something. Both dialects are in that dictionary, and it's a good source for this class where when I start handing out homework, um, you can use it for classwork and for future reference if you're unsure of any Hmong words or English words and you want to cross-reference the definition. It's a good source. I use it all the time.
Okay, thank you for that. Where do you get that dictionary or where do you buy it from?
If you logged into your student portal, I did provide some information there. Go to Hmongtown Market. If you're from out of state and you're not in town, you can go to hmongabc.com and then order from the website too.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. I'm also in the process of developing a assessment test for students who are unsure what level they should start at, whether the beginners or intermediate. and they write intermediate because they've taken some previous Hmong classes. So with the assessment, it'll let me know where the student at. So based on the assessment, if they do well, they will automatically get placed into more advanced course, not exactly advanced, but in the intermediate course. And if they score poorly, then I would recommend them to go to the beginner's course. It's open both week and weekend too, during the week and the weekend too. So they close like 5 or 6 in the evening. Does that answer your question, Nadine? Okay, awesome. All right, I'll give it a couple more minutes and see if anyone else is coming, and we'll start our lesson for the night. So from listening to last week's video, for those of you who weren't able to make it, and for those of you who were here from last week, what are your thoughts on what we've covered from last week? Is it a lot of information to keep up with, or just about right, or should I load more? Awesome. Yeah, I want to give you bit by bit to make sure everybody's up to speed. Um, I know for some they might still be behind, but at least everyone is catching up. How about the vocabularies? I don't think I start the vocabularies last week yet. Tonight will be the first night. So. All right. So I guess is whoever comes later will join in later. So we're gonna start our lesson for tonight. All right. Let me share my screen. Y'all can see my screen?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay. Ooh, damn, gotta get over that cough. Okay. All right. So for our lesson tonight, we're going to be covering some vocabularies first, and then we'll go into the lesson plan. So I wanted to ask some of you, while growing up, especially if you're Hmong, how do we say student in Hmong? What do you normally hear from your parents? Anyone can share. No one? How do we normally say student in Hmong while you're growing up? Do we use the word Minyo Lucy or Nahian? I'm not getting a response, so I don't know if you're hearing me or not.
We can hear you. I'm just
Okay.
thinking back to my childhood, and I don't recall ever having a conversation with my parents about um like what a student, what that word is in Hmong, or even asking them what teacher is in Hmong. So that's why I didn't answer.
Okay. Yeah, one thing I do notice is that even I myself, as a parent, talking to my children, I don't even use Hmong in the house too. Now, the funny thing is, when my wife and I were married and we were talking among ourselves and we said we wanted to use Hmong as much as possible in the home so that our children can learn and know how to speak Hmong. But with the first daughter, we did that. But as our children grow in numbers, we tend to fade away from speaking Hmong and we speak more English. So so I recommend them to take the class as well, but they won't be starting until the summer session. So, and my children, they tell me like, Mom and Dad, I have no idea what you're saying. So, Takana, when I start speaking in Hmong, they have no clue and they feel bad. And I feel bad myself for not initiating it early too. So for the Hmong word for student, May is small. May is for early childhood or preschoolers. May is a different sound. May is for elementary to middle school students. And La are more mature, high school to college age students. So most of you, I'm assuming, are La because you're all, majority of you are adult learners. I'm sure there are some students that are still minor in this class, but I don't know who they are because phần đâu ni chỉ tới ni the camera na. So they which part they link to but that's okay. Now what about teacher? While growing up, how do you normally hear your parents address teacher?
My parents, they always says, Naku.
Yeah, like cool. That's a common one. Anybody else? Anyone heard of Sifu? The two common word growing up is Sifu and Naiku. Naiku is a Laotian terminology for teacher. Sifu is also a Hmong word and is a Chinese word too for master. And usually in the Hmong community, we use Sifu for whether they be martial arts instructor or a cultural class instructor. They also use it for academic teacher, but in Hmong, the real word for academic is Lankai. So going forward, you'll be addressing me as Lankai. The word Lankai, Lang means to take responsibility, Gai means to teach. Just like in English, a teacher is someone who teaches. So that is what Lankai is in Hmong. But when we go to professor, like a college professor, their title is different. For a college professor, they are called gu su or gu gosu. There's two different words. But gu su is the professor, but it does not specify what they specialize in. And then gu gosu are experts in their field, like automotive technicians or some kind of a trade expert. And then gu jiangsu are academics. They can also be for professions like attorneys and doctors and stuff like that. So gu jiangsu is another word, but we're not going to go into that. So for all these Hmong classes, I will be your Lenkai. Until we get a handful of Lenkai to come start teaching these Hmong classes, both white and green dialect, then I will become Jekai, which is like the principal or the superintendent, oversee all the staff. So Jekai is the principal, and then Guolu is vocabulary for Hmong. So going forward, bây giờ cỡ the Guolu sẽ số mò, ý mò từ thì bây giờ lý chi mù cho trâu lo lù chia, có nên bao bây giờ mong lù hay tiền, ô, bây giờ mong chỉ plua lù, bây lù mong đâu cửa, giờ bây chỉ cỡ thì bây chỉ bao thì chùa lý bây chỉ muốn lù, đó chỉ bây giờ lù đâu cửa. And as we go through these classes, I will be defining words like when it comes to family members. Ti ya da chi, gu ya da chi, vi ya da chi, yo ya da chi, te ya don't know. We'll go into all that as we go through the course. So then you'll become familiar with Hmong Dalu. You hear them often, but you never distinguish what is what. And we'll cover all that in the classroom, right? Excuse me. So for tonight's sound, we'll be covering both single and double consonant. I will be sounding out the letter of each sound for each letter. Then we'll go to the slide where each letter is associated to an image, so you will know which letter or which sound is associated to what image. That'll get you more familiar with Hmong words. The sound for letter C, ya jaw. The sound for letter D, ya daw. The sound for letter F, ya fa. The sound for letter H, ya ha. The sound for letter K, ya ga. Almost like a G. The sound for letter L, ya la. The sound for letter M, ya ma. The sound for letter N, ya na. The sound for letter P, ya ba. The sound for letter Q, ya ga. So when you say ga, it comes from the back of your throat. Ga. The sound for letter R, ya jaw. Like a hard D, jaw. And you kind of put your tongue up against your teeth, jaw. Letter S, ya shaw. Like a SH. Letter T, ya taw. And almost like TH together without blowing air. Letter V, ya va. Letter X, ya saw, like an S sound. Letter Y, ya yaw. And letter Z, ya jaw. Okay? Now we'll go to the images. Jaw as in jaw. Jaw lu ba. Or jaw as in lu jaw. Do tu. Letter D, Ya daw as in day, or daw as in da. Letter F, ya fa as in foo, or fa as in foe. Letter H, ya ha as in how, or ha as in whore. Letter K, ya ga as in gao, or ga as in gu. Letter L, ya la as in Leah, or la as in lua. Letter M, ya ma as in me, or ma as in ma. Letter N, ya na as in na, or na as in no. Letter P, ya ba as in ba, or ba as in boa. Letter Q, ya ga as in kay, or ga as in ka. Letter R, ya da as in do, or da as in dia. Letter S, ya sha as in shao, or sha as in sure. Letter T, ya da as in tăng, or da as in tu. Letter V, ya va as in vow, or va as luva. Letter X, ya saw as in sa, or saw as in sao. Letter Y, ya as in young, or ya as in yong. Letter Z, ya as in zhao, or zha as in zhua. Okay, and next we'll be going to the double consonant. So when you add CH, jaw, the, ha, ya cha. Letter DH, da, the, ha, ya da. Letter D and L, da, the, la, ya la. Now, this one is a green dialect. Letter H and letter L, ya, ha, the, la, ya, la, as in hlu. Letter M, H and letter M, ya, ha, the, ma, ya, ma, as in ma. Letter H and letter N, ya, ha, the, na, ya, na, as in nu. Letter K and letter H, ya, ga, the, ha, ya, ka, as in kia. Letter M and letter L, ya, ma, the, la, ya, la, as in mlong. Letter N and letter C, ya, na, the, ya, yan, ya, as in ya. Letter N and letter K, ya, na, the, ga, yang, ga, as in ga. Letter N and letter P, ya, na, the, ba, as in ba, boa. Letter N and letter Q, ya, na, the, ga, as in ga, ga. Letter N and letter R, ya, na, the, da, yan, da, as in da. Noise. Letter N and letter T, ya, na, the, da, yan, da, as in dao. Letter N and letter Y, ya, na, the, ya, yan, ya, as in ya. Letter P and letter H, ya, ba, the, ha, ya, pa, as in pow. Letter P and letter L, ya, ba, the law. Ya blah, as in blown. Letter Q and letter H. Ya qaw, the haw. Ya qaw, as in clear. Letter R, letter H. Ya daw, the haw. Ya taw, as in taw. Letter H, letter T, and letter H. Ya taw, the haw. Ya taw, as in taw. Letter T and letter S. Ya jaw. Ya taw, the shaw. Ya jaw, as in jaw. Letter T and letter X. Ya taw, the saw. Ya saw, saw. Letter X and letter Y. Ya saw, the yaw. Ya shaw, as in shown. And then we'll go to the image. So CH, jaw, the haw. Ya chaw, chaw. Or jaw, the haw. Ya chaw, chi. Letter H and letter D and letter H is daw, daw, the haw. Ya taw, tia. Or daw, the haw. Ya taw, taw. Letter H and L, haw, the law. Ya law, as in lee. Or flu. Letter H and letter M. Ya haw, haw, the maw. Ya maw, as in Hmong. Or ma. Letter H and letter N. Ya haw, the naw. Ya naw, as in nu. Or na. Letter K and letter H. Ya gaw, the haw. Ya caw, cow. Or cow. Letter M, letter L. Ya maw, the law. Ya mlong, ya mlaw. Letter N, letter C. Ya naw, the jaw. Ya yaw, yo. Or yay. Letter N, letter K. Ya naw, the gaw. Young gaw, gaw. Or gaw mong. Letter N, letter P. Ya naw, the baw. Yum baw, boa. Or bao shua. Letter N, letter Q. Ya naw, the gaw. Young gaw, goa. Or ngai. Letter N, letter R. Ya naw, the da. Yan da, day. Or do mong. Letter N, letter T. Ya naw, the da. Yan da, dong. Or dai. Letter N, letter Y. Ya naw, the yaw. Yan yaw, as in new. Or near. Letter P and letter H. Ya paw, the haw. Ya paw. Or pow. Letter P, letter L. Ya paw, the law. Ya blah. Wow, hậu blia. Letter Q, letter H. Ya qaw, the haw. Ya kia. Or look haw. Letter R, letter H. Ya daw, the haw. Ya taw. Or tau. Letter T and letter H. Ya taw, the haw. Ya thái. Or ya tong. Letter T and letter S. Ya taw, the shaw. Ya jaw, your jaw, letter J, letter T, letter X, your thaw, the saw, your thigh, or sear, and letter X, letter Y, your thaw, the yaw, your xiong, or xiong. Okay, so that is all for the single and the double consonant tonight. Any questions on that? Does it seem like a lot to cover or remember?
Sure is.
It seems like a lot for sure. Cho single mà đều okay, chỉ cho double sao để đều用sao đó cô.
Mà cờ.
Yeah.
Bây tôi muốn câu nó là chỉ ít bia thôi. Bây class ta thì cũng có sao cho nên thì nhưng mà lý tất cả mồm nông cho lù nó có nên dân cho cả cho số nó cho tuần tới nó thì tuần nó cho lú số nó nè thì nên nên cờ nên dân do thì next week nên tôi sẵn tôi và si thâu thì nên dân cho cả hay thì cho đã chỉ thì cho quiz econ thì cũng chỉ mua all question per lesson plan li just single na chỉ mua khó question double rồi all khó sa cũng chỉ one đau tôi có thể one đau là nên ít cho giờ chính chắc cả chỉ giờ if you really do your homework thì all khó nó sẽ là nên chắc cả nè thì cũng những mua ít giờ student lấy những từ chỉ cho any of them thì khó nó thì kia tao cũng either they're too busy or they forgot to do the homework or something but if you really study the sound, you would know what sound I'm using. To cut the test na the go high lose what in inside the right character. No.
So is it a written quiz then, or is it oral now?
Go ya to high oral. That's she told name inside the answer the is multiple choice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Vậy có cho lần
Go
nữa.
call lose what the go the ni I question ni mo blow to the blow to letter. Go call lose what the ni bao the okay go high lose one and the key the right answer.
Okay. Vậy có cho cái tờ khó multiple choice bị sai này nhở?
Ni sai, yeah.
Okay, vậy nếu mà li có data đó có thế này nhở?
Yeah, good.
Okay.
Thì cụ tôi mua the answer nó hỗ ta là thì nên sai thôi thì as soon as you finish the exam nên sai thôi thế chỉ thôi là you will get a response right away. Cái nên bao thì nên tôi有给了nên tôi要。thì cụ tôi mua the program lên the ta là thế, yeah. Thì as you go, giờ nên muốn sao thọ bé muốn sao đâu tất cả và maybe let's say next week. Thì after bé với the quiz ta bé với the lesson plan ta thì cụ vào pop quiz đó nên thì cụ hay cho số thì just type it in the chat hay thì cụ hay lúc số từ thì that way it'll tell me how well you're picking up on these sounds.
Wait, so I kind of got lost when he asked the question. What was exactly going on?
Okay. So next week, as you study the sound of each letter and the single and the double, and then after we do the quiz, which the quiz is multiple choice, I will cite the sound and you will select the correct letter associating to the sound. And then once you finish, you will get your answers back immediately because I already programmed it with the right answers. So if you pick the wrong one, it'll throw back the wrong one for you. If you pick the right one, it'll throw back the right one for you. Now, each question is 5 points. So if you get the question wrong, then it'll be 3 points. If you get the question right, it'll be 5 points. So I'm not sure it might give you a 0, but I can go in and make that change for half a point because you attempt to take the quiz. It's just that you didn't get the right answer. But if you don't pick any at all, then that is a 0 point. So I structured my classes that way so that if you attempt to take it and you just got the wrong answer, you get half point because you're trying.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. And then after the lesson plan, then I will throw some pop quiz where I will say a sound of a letter, a consonant, single or double, and then you'll just type in the correct answer. But once after the midterm, then I will probably say like a word. And then if you already covered everything in before the midterm, you pretty much have an idea how to put consonant, vowels, and tone markers together. Then you'll be spelling out word, like short word, to let me know that you are actually picking up these and it's making sense for you. All right? Am I confusing anyone? Yes, cool.
I don't have the dictionary yet, but I was curious if the dictionary had like included phonetic symbols.
I
Um,
don't know if the dictionary has phonetics. I do have mine here. Let me check mine.
Yeah, just because I think for somebody who's starting out, it is a lot, and sometimes the phonetic symbols, at least in my head, help me to understand how
Chimua.
it's
I just
Chimona,
checked
yeah.
my dictionary. Chimua phonetics.
Okay.
Ikona. I had some students who are linguistic and language pathologists,
Uh-huh.
and I'm working with them that lớp bí cỡ tớ mong là cho ni do thì
Uh,
cú trả hay là chè là cỡ tao là sau này cú sa cỡ là lần cho cú develop the phonetics for Joshua mong nè e pe mo way con new redeveloped curriculum e ka literally cho tao the exact phonetic and the high tone. So it'll be helpful for American students who are trying to learn our sound. Tôi có biết cho
yes.
mong tôi说你用它用呀，
Yeah, Nyoma, ya te kachi go to yona ya yumno ken yona. So the phonetics, if you could sort of see it at least from an English standpoint, I think it will help people starting out to really understand. So I'm glad that you're moving in that direction. I'd love to be a part of that. That sounds really cool. Okay, go ahead and
Yeah, I would love to have any of your students. I mean, change is developing the language to a new degree, and I'm spearheading this project. So, your more certain talents that or education level that you know that you can help build change learning curriculum to be at top notch. I would love to have you on board to work with me in building these courses. Tokatia kuchipotia luto language teachers. Lowolitia. I haven't talked to them, but I am trying to build change to be a learning place where we can all really understand. So even for the last class when I was still with 18 Council, one of the students actually asked me if I can write the phonetic on these letters, and it's hard. The on paper. They would try to use Google Translator or Google Phonetics. Google tự chỉ bảo lùm không thế nào, so it's even harder. So, chỉ cú xã tàu cho ai cả, nếu những cơ sản language pathology để bảo có cho số lượng giờ tuần tới nó biết có linh nó anh ấy bảo from mi cả sáng này ya, anh ấy sau đó cho phonetic thì biết mà nó develop đến nó, ai cả tận đây nó become more readily accessible for students who really want to learn so they can pick up the sound faster rather than struggling how to sound it out. So I'm glad that you brought that up. And when we do put that program together, I will let you know so you can be a part of the team if that's what you want.
Yeah, I'd love to. I think it's very exciting. And I think that's is these changes take time. And
Yeah.
you know, this I see it as this is part of the way we have to teach it going forward.
Yes.
I'm also interested in that. Just because for me, my parents speak Hmong, so I understand completely, but I don't speak as well. I can make the sound, I can pronounce it well. It's just that I'm not good enough to speak its sentences.
Right.
So, like if I know the English translation, even if I have the word, I know how to say it. So, like just even as I'm looking through the dictionary, like towards like the end where like there's like common Hmong names, I can look at it and I see the meaning and I can like I know that is like bong, like it's in like bombay or it's like jaw.
Yeah.
Like even if like the English writing, even if I understand it like through the English perspective, you know, I still can pronounce the sound in Hmong, even though like I think the thing that's difficult is just remembering what sounds each letter makes, because you know we're so used to learning English that we're used to the English pronunciations of certain letters, so it's just a bit more difficult to remember, as you know, kind of English is kind of like our first language in just terms of learning. But yeah, I think if we're able to get people to register like at least the sounds or like what certain words mean and to remember that, it might make it easier. Because for me, I need a visual to be able to kind of register how to say it Hmong. Since I'm still unfamiliar with the language in terms of like writing.
Yeah, that's why I added these images to the letters so that it helped with the visual. Ni chỉ bỏ especially the ni chỉ tao cỡ kia lu mong là chỉ tao nói kia lu mong lý là you need a lot of visual support. Hay là cháu anh ấy nó lu mong là nó lấy những bắp bao rồi ya it's easier for them to pick up. Thì chỉ tao cỡ đua chỉ tao nói đua là visual is a very strong support. So we want to build and evolve as we go. So I'm doing my best to keep building these programs to a point where it'll be easy to learn. Everybody can learn it at a quick rate. And then once we got that going, then more than the Pahao is advanced learning. So once you get to the Pahao, it's all symbols. So you have to recognize the symbols at that point. And then once you are able to read Pahao, a lot of the resource on nearly the last time I showed you guys the names for the month of the year, all those were studied of Hmong astrology. So lấy mua lấy cho cái kênh một cho sáng astrology nữa thì là cỡ to cho sáng là chỉ là chấm mốt tao chấm bê for cho lý nữa. So I'm still gonna get my hands on those meanings of each month so that when we go into advanced study, then you will know the meaning of those months and why we give them those names and the significance. So there's a lot to grow with change. And I'm excited to have you all as students who are learning and also wanting to improve, build, and make this better. It's not going to end with what I developed or what I started. It's just to plant the seed and get the process going. But as students become more aware, more developed in intellect, we can build this a much better learning tool. I'm proud. Any other question? All right. We have 15 minutes left. I will let you all take the night off and enjoy with the rest of your family. And I will get these videos out so that you will have them to watch for the rest of the week with new slide for next week and your quiz to be ready for next week as well. All right. So have a great night and enjoy the rest of your night.
I got, sorry, I got a question.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
個背有冇啊？咗六個講啦，個背有冇嚟寫咯？我可以用你嗰邊啦。So it'll be like shorter.
咗六個講啦。
From the whole video 咯啦。個俾到下啲 rewind back and forth 啦。
Oh,
Yeah.
I will do 2 videos.
Okay.
Okay. Each of they are strictly just a lesson, so you have to go back and forth. Because mỗi giờ mấy giờ phải thật thà thầu bi thế dọ thì thế thầu thì nên lần đó thật thà thầu bi nên mà nó sau đó cái lesson đó thì nên đến day like maybe 10 to 15 minutes thì cú yêu walk call thì có yeah thì nên ta muốn direct it just right to the material là có nên muốn right to the material. I can do that for you.
Okay, what's up?
Yeah. All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night. Bye.
Bye.